Welcome back to another live stream Q&A work with me session. My name is Lily like the flower and this is transaction care. Also TC with Lily. And I need light. So today I'm going to talk about a various amount of topics. I'm going to do my best to keep it short. Had some technical difficulties earlier, as well as street parking here in San Francisco is it just didn't want me to be great. I was parked. I was not parked. I was actually looking for parking for almost 2 hours. And as it got closer to 12, I was like, oh, I'm not going to make the 12 o'clock live. And I was going to go for my phone, but it was on less than 10%. And I just didn't, it just wasn't working out. And that's how life is. You pivot, you regroup, you don't get too down on yourself. I was getting down on myself. I was like, oh, this is a failure. But I chose not to do that. And here we are, 1 o'clock, an hour later, everything's fine. Everything always works out. So today, I want to talk about, first of all, multiple streams of income and ways that during times of a downturn, slower market, wherever you fit, not just today, but in the future. You could be having the busiest season of your life right now. So this may not even fully apply, but there will be seasons when maybe you're not closing as many, or your realtors have taken a break. They're traveling, they're on vacation. So what do you do in those downtimes? Well, one, I would hope you are also taking a vacation and taking a break, because it's important for people to create that space for themselves and to reset and process. And but during times like this, where maybe it's the first time you're experiencing a slower turn in business, you're going through a shift, losing clients. I've been through it all, and I want to share my experiences with you all, not just here, but in a more community based platform. I'm working on that. That's an exclusive here in this live, but for the most part, multiple streams of income as a transaction coordinator. Let's start there. So, if you are at TC, you have your general services that you offer from contract to close. Maybe you only do listings, so now you may want to offer sales services. Or maybe you're an assistant. You can consider offering a social media package. What are your skills? What are you good at? What are you passionate about as well? Let's talk about passion, because I have a podcast, Transaction Care Podcast. Head to transactioncarepodcast.com. I just released a new episode. New episodes every Monday. I have solo episodes as well as interviews. The interviews have been going really well. My whole goal is to demystify the business of real estate and really just give you guys a behind the scenes look into different careers that you can have in real estate. It isn't just being a realtor or a broker. You can have several jobs, and I want to uncover that and give you guys the real on how people got there. What was their mindset behind starting a business, or behind starting an agency, or just working a 9 to 5? All of that is fine as long as you're doing you. And going back to having multiple streams of income, I see and know my podcast is going in that direction. I'm giving more time and energy towards podcasting, so that can become, and it will become, another stream of income for me that is related to what I'm doing as a transaction coordinator. I'm taking all of my experience as a TC, packaging it up, and delivering it to anyone that may need it along the way. And there are several ways to do that. You can do that through coaching, consulting, mentorships, teaching, podcasting, social media, YouTubing, newsletters. There's so many different ways that you can not just market yourself, but also just give yourself that freedom to create as well. So, when it comes to having slower seasons, this is a good time to just update your checklist, your processes. Are you up to date with your insurance? Are you current with your disclosures, your checklists, your budget? Are there things you need to take away or need to add on? And in terms of your services and what you offer, this could be a good time to look back at the time you've already invested and say, hey, sneeze, and say, hey, um, I've been doing really good in this area. Let me offer this as a specific service. And that could be writing contracts. For me personally, I've said this online that I no longer write contracts for agents. I've done it, and it for me it just doesn't align with my lifestyle. And like I said, it's preference for everyone. I'm not saying don't offer it as a service. I don't want to keep anyone from making any additional money, especially at a time like this. So if you are great at writing contracts and you're licensed, you have the proper credentials to do so, make that a separate service. You know, you could charge $5, $25. I wouldn't charge anything less than 20, to be honest, if you're going to be doing contracts, because also define what writing contracts means for you as well, because think about, even if you just write that one contract at say 3 p.m., but then they counter offer it at 7 p.m., are you going to be available to respond? Are you only operating between the hours of 9 to 5? What does that mean for you as well? And that all plays into creating boundaries and just having clear and open communication between you and your customers in whatever realm you're working in, not just real estate. But when it comes to writing contracts, think about counter offers. People get off of work at 5, they don't get home, eat dinner, and are fully ready to do things until around 8 o'clock. So most of the deals that I get, I look at the timestamp, and the contracts are coming in at like 11:32 p.m., or uh 8 p.m. It just isn't. um you want to be mindful of that when you offer writing contracts as a service. Disclosures. I know a lot of virtual assistants that are eagerly looking for work and ways to, create income for themselves, whether it's internationally or locally. And it's also a good way to start off learning how to TC, because I think the biggest misconception is that once you get certified or once you learn about transaction coordination, that the business is just going to come to you. You have to become an expert at almost every realm of business: marketing, accounting, human resources, customer service, so many aspects to this whole thing. It doesn't mean you have to do everything the entire time. I think it's just important for you to understand before you start delegating what it is you're looking for. So when it comes to being an assistant, you know exactly what you're going to be delegating to them. And then as an assistant, whether you have experience or not, you can absolutely start leveraging your skills to become more, to brand yourself, to stand out more, and to become a strong candidate to work with someone. And you have to be eager to learn. You have to be eager to and be willing to be uncomfortable. This job is very tedious. Once you get into the groove of things, you'll realize a lot of it can be repetitive, and you are doing a lot of the same steps over and over. You're looking at a lot of the same forms over and over that don't really require you to read through anything. But so I just wanted to touch on that.